I guess the lights, when that light's dim, that means I'm supposed to get up here and start the meeting. But we're going to have so much fun. That's why the lights are low. No, it's so that you can read the screen a little bit better. Okay, everybody's ready? I'm going to call the meeting to order today. The first thing we're going to do is stand up for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I hope you all had a lovely spring weekend. The weather was perfect. And my granddaughter, who's 4, came to visit me on Saturday morning and stayed all the way through until her parents came yesterday and picked her up. So if I look like I'm drawn out and dragging, yeah. You know, I'm just going to share this. It was so fun. My mother was a big lover of pearls, so I have a lot of her pearl necklaces. And so I went into this grab bag, and my mother had pearls that were very large in a necklace. I mean, they're just cultured pearls. But I shared it with my piper. I said, these are very special pearls. You might want to wear them with your new dress. They're called Julie Marquis pearls. That's my mother's name. So all day, Baba, I'm wearing Julie Marquis pearls. My mother would love it. I would like the new members and guests that have come today. Could you please stand? We have 1 new member, 2, 3. Okay, great. 4. Thank you. Welcome. I'm going to trust that you all read the minutes of the last general membership meeting, and I would need someone to make a motion that we approve those minutes. Who's going to make a motion? Oh, Charlie Menino, Pat, is making a motion. Who would second? Oh, Stephanie is going to second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. And as you know, we say this every month. Our treasurer's report are always presented at the board. We go through them, we read them, we approve them, but they are posted for audit so that you all have access to them as well. The nominating committee has been chosen, and those 3 ladies who agreed to be our nominating committee for next fall, going into the winter, for the new positions that are coming available are Pat Tamaro, please stand, Diana Wittenberg, and Sally Pavia. I'm not sure if Pat is here. There she is. I need to have the general membership approve that nominating committee. I was told just the chair, but we've got co-chairs, maybe even 3 co-chairs on that committee. So I would like to just officially have you all make a motion and second it and approve that nominating committee. Who would like to make the motion? Okay, Chris Palmer is making the motion. Who would like to second? Jill Mitchell is second it. All those in favor of approving the nominating committee, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. I don't know what I'd do if anybody opposed. Okay, this is exciting. I want you all to say yay. Yay. Now say it louder. Yay. Yay. Guess what? You're getting the Desert Tracker. Yay. You're getting it electronically. Okay. Do not say boo. Jackie Manasco, Joellen Savage, Susie Myers, who lives in California, Stephanie Sparks, Charlie Menino, Della Jones, all have been proofreading the Desert Tracker. And it's finally to that situation, that presentation, that it is ready to roll. Now, It can get confusing, and I just want you to know the most unconfusing thing that we can do about the Desert Tracker is to send it to everybody electronically. You're going to have it in color. You'll be able to click links within the Desert Tracker if there's something that's noted. If you want the hard copy Desert Tracker, that's what's changing, because we're only going to print hard copies a minimal amount. If somebody really, really wants it, they could actually print it themselves. And we do an exchange with other historical societies. So we're going to find out which of them want it hard copy and which of them would prefer to have it electronically. So we're still in that phase. But I wanted you all to know that within 7 to 10 days, you're going to have a Desert Tracker, the 50th anniversary edition. And I'm very excited because there's some long-term members from our society that have written stories about their association with WVGS. It's very interesting. So good. We're not going to have a volunteer of the month this month because we have 125 volunteers of the month. It is Volunteer Appreciation Month of April, and I know that you're probably going to say, oh my God, she's going to name them all. Yep. We're going to appreciate our volunteers. I'm going to read off their names and they're going to stand up. We're going to have a photo of all the volunteers in a group at the break. And we're going to have pins that the volunteers are going to get, that I have, that I'm going to give them. And I want you all to be patient, because if it wasn't for these people, you would not have a WVGS. When I call you, here's the fun thing too. There's names on these volunteer lists that are mentioned more than once, and that's because some people do more than one thing. So be patient, but appreciate our volunteers. If I call your name, please stand. Lynn Corbett, Sue Black, they're the accessioners. I'm sorry, they handle all the books and the maps. The accessioners with the periodicals, Sandy Enke is not here today. Stand if you're an aide. Margaret Baker, Melissa Bird, Martha Emmons, Sherry Erickson, Kathy Gallagher, Susie Glass, Tina Hancox, Irma Harden, Adrian Hopp, Susan Hayes, Wanda Head, Judy Horvick, Jerry Johnson, Della Jones, Diane Kraft, Marjorie Labe, I hope I said it, Twyla Lobitz, Sarah Maxwell, myself, Peggy Morphew, Chris Palmer, Gloria Parker, Sally Pavia, Catherine Powers, Nancy Reed, Jude Roosh, Kathy Swand, Donna Scott, Connie Sheets, Jean Sinchak, Diane Smith, Barbara Stenberg, Carol Struck, Pat Tomorrow, Joyce Voss, Diane Wittenberg. So far, the 50th Anniversary Committee, you may remember, Lois Bird, Sally Pavia, Peggy Morphew, Chris Palmer, Charlie Menino. You listen carefully to these names, and if you hear them more than once, keep track. The ASGAB is the Arizona Genealogical Advisory Board, and NGS ambassador to WVGS is Linda McCleary. Linda is one of the long-term WVGS members. She's written her story in the next Desert Tracker. Yay! Book presentations for our members reaching 90, Sherry Erickson. Bylaws Committee, Gloria Parker, Stephanie Sparks, and Della Jones. The calendar is Pat Scoville. I hope I said that right. Class instructors have been Bonnie Bossert, Barbara Stenberg, Connie Sheets, Catherine Gallagher, Barbara Schroyer, Adrian Hopp, Kim Harrison, Marilyn Simlinus, and Stephanie Sparks. Cleaning crew. Even though we have a professional cleaning crew, we alternate every month with them. So when they're on their off month, this is our crew right here. Phyllis Abinandanza, I hope I said that right, Margaret Baker, Rich Bogdanovich, Sue Bender, Diane Dunnigan, Sandy Enke, Judy Horvick, Sherry Erickson, Tina Hancox, Carolyn Griffin. Our window cleaners, if you can see out the windows last time you were at the library, it's because of Pam and Phil Miller, and our handyman is Doug Fairchild. Thank you so much. The Collection Development Committee, Janet Buchanan, Sherry Erickson, Karen Lee, Diana Wittenberg, Jerry Tyler, Barbara Stenberg, Ginger Marshall, and Della Jones. By the way, you're seeing all of our volunteers, and guess what? It's not enough. So if you're interested in any of these committees, you can see any one of these people or you can email me. Computer Equipment Committee. We rarely see those guys, but we've got one today. Jim Weichel, Sandy Bauer, Doreen Hearn, Ed Crabb, Roger Hanneman, Jackie Manasco, Richard Sporsky, and Pat Scoville. Yeah, we do have more than one. Okay. The digitizing team are two ladies, Sandy Enke and Krista Minogue. Yes. Desert Tracker, it was Carla Rideout, and Jackie Manasco was her helper. E-News is Doreen Hearn. She's in the back. Facebook, Karen Shart, Barbara Schroyer. Forms, Charlie Menino. Financial Review, Judy Martin, Amelia McNeely, and Paul Veltman. Fundraising, Peggy Morphew and Sally Pavia. Where there's one, there's usually both. The grants, since I've been here, we haven't worked on grants, but Jackie Manasco, I've heard, is a pro. Historian, Carolyn Griffin. Long Range Planning, Stephanie Sparks, Della Jones, Sandy Enke, Chris Palmer, Jill Mitchell, and Todd Tandy. Todd Tandy is a very new member. His mother's a part of, I think, the Norwegian SIG, and he decided to become a member. And then when he said that he used to sit on the city council in Surprise, oh yeah, we want this guy. And he came to the very first meeting of Long Range Planning. Wonderful brainstorming ideas, great. Member Outreach, Pamela Fond, Molly Monk, Krista Minogue, Sandy Enke, Twyla Lobitz, and Tina Hancock. Member Services, Liana Granica and Molly Monks. Membership Badges, Krista Minogue. I found out from Krista why, I couldn't find my badge or it said something wrong on it or something. She can't just manufacture them out of thin air. And she does try to save on the badge paper, 8.5 by 11. That's why if you don't get your badge 2 days after you're the member signing up, it's because she's waiting to fill a sheet. I think that's what she said. Anyway, member registrar is Twyla Lobitz. Twyla was part of the panel that we had last time, and she works full-time, so she doesn't always get here to these meetings. The obituary committee was Diana Wittenberg, Marianne Evans, Carol Roth, Patricia Bates, Dale Coons. Photography, if you don't know his name by now, Charlie Menino. Policies and procedures, Della Jones and Stephanie Sparks. Presentations, Molly Monks. Proofreaders, this was for tidbits as well. Susie Meyer, Stephanie Sparks, Della Jones, Peggy Morphew, and Joellen Savage. I've heard Joellen Savage is not a member, but she's Stephanie's sister, so yeah, she's a member. Incognito type. Publicity, Irma Hardin. You remember Irma? She just turned 90, and then she took on being in charge of publicity. Records, Jerry Johnson. He's our new addition. Research, these people would help. Diana Wittenberg, Mary McLeish. Robert's Rules of Order, I didn't even know this. Dave Conklin keeps us on the straight and narrow, apparently. Dave, I did not know that you were monitoring and making sure we do everything by Robert's Rules. Speakers Bureau, these are people that do go out into the community. Pamela Fond, myself, Marilyn Simlinus, and Peggy Morphew. I was just over at Rio Salada last week, and I had 13 people in front of laptops, and Rio Salada furnished the laptops, and they were mostly beginners. And it was so cute, because there's there's an elderly gentleman that came, and I think he's a part of WVGS, and I'm sorry I don't remember his name, but he brought a folder this thick of Swedish genealogy. He says, my ancestors go back to the 1400s. And he wanted to, share that, and I said, this is pretty nice, but I don't think we're going to have time to do the Swedish folder, but yeah, he was sweet. Special interest groups, Melissa Baird, Barbara Schroyer, Pamela Fond, Dale Coons, Peggy Morphew, Beth Kister, Karen Lee, Kathy Gallagher. The store, Elaine Wright, Jill Mitchell, Molly Monks, Della Jones. Tidbits, he's new, Charlie Menino. Webmaster, Sandy Bauer. She's sitting in front of her computer in Houston. That's where she lives. WVGS Cares, Tina Hancox. I would think, well, and you guys know the board members. I don't need to say them, do I? First vice is Stephanie Sparks. Second vice is Marilyn Simlins. The recording secretary is Patricia Bates. Notice who's not standing up. Donna Scott and Jill Mitchell co-share the treasurer position. Barbara Schroyer, Director of Education. Peggy Morphew and Sally Pavia, Director Fundraising. Pamela Fawn, Director Membership Outreach. Chris Palmer, Director of Library Services, and her co-administrator is Sandy Enke. And Della Jones is our Director of Collections. Nothing but applauses for these people. I have a feeling that they, just in hearing their names and hearing how many times I've called some people's names more than once, is an inspiration to the rest of you. I'm not going to say that if you volunteer, you don't get to do genealogy, because some people have volunteered and done multiple things and had to put their genealogy on hold. But you learn a lot and you have a lot of fun because you get to know people that have something in common with you. And I would encourage all of you to consider a one-time thing. You do not need to sign up to be a volunteer and do it, for 3 years in a row. So please get a hold of me or any of the board members if you wish to pursue being a volunteer. You get to pick what you want to do, besides your own genealogy. The next thing we're going to do now is we're going to introduce Jim Weichel, because are we going to do that now, or are we going to do the director's reports? This was in your agenda. To do it now. Thank you. Because we do have a fundraising report, but we'll do it right after Jim. Jim Weichel is going to show you our Real True website and talk to you a bit about what's going on with it. Jim is a snowbird. And when do you leave to go back, Jim? End of May. But when he's here, he's a real good resource and volunteer. And I'll let Jim step in and tell you what he's going to do.
Okay, in January, Lou set up a committee with roughly 10 volunteers to do a review of our website. Our website that we use now was created, I believe, during 2018, and April 1st, 2019, we picked a date because we thought it might be fun to cut over the new website, and that's the one you see now. But over a period of 3 or 4 years, websites can kind of get a little complex and so forth, because people come and say, gee, we need to have something over here and over there, and so you end up with things that maybe can be improved. So the website committee was asked to look at the current website and decide things that could be improved. And we did it in a similar way. If you were here last month, there was a survey form that was laying on the tables that said, what do you like? What's one thing you like about the website? What's one thing you don't like about the website? So we collected that information at a meeting and discussed ways we might be able to address the I don't like this part without destroying the things I really like. So the, whoops. No, go back.
Go back to the,
Yeah.
your charts?
Yeah. So then we came up with a set of changes, and most of the changes revolved around the homepage, because the homepage had gotten kind of very, very long. You had to scroll page after page after page. And so we made the homepage more concise. And then member information was scattered around the website. In fact, one of the slides that Lou just showed referred to society communications, because that's where the board reports and financial reports were. And so we decided to consolidate all the member information onto one page. So you just go there, and almost everything you need to know as a member or you'd like to look at as a member is on that page. And then we added an events page so that we didn't clutter the home page with all the list of events that we have going. Sometimes the list can get pretty long. So we're going to demonstrate these changes and talk about a couple of other features that we'd like to remind people of. So I've logged in as my wife here to make it look just like it would look for the average member that logs in. And the homepage now is very short. It's, you know, page and a half long on most computers. And member information that I just mentioned is right there. And then if you go ahead and scroll down the page. Anyway, there's upcoming events. There's lots of links on the page to get you directly to things. Everything you see from now on down is the public homepage. The very top was just the member part. And so on the public homepage, you know, there's we also have that, like a high-speed scanning link down there. So that's a service that we're offering at the library now through July. So that's on the homepage. And that'll automatically disappear when we no longer have that. Okay, back to the top. So you can also get the member information by hovering over membership. It's in the first place there. So we'll go to that page and have a look. So basically, the few things at the top are the things you might use the most often, like upcoming events is pretty important. Membership meeting archive. So, you know, we have quite a few meetings during the year. Not everybody can get to all the meetings, but if you go to the archive, you can see the list of all the meetings like over the last 5 years. And you can click on those links on that page and it'll tell you what we talked about at that meeting. Okay, so go back. Okay, volunteer opportunities is there. You don't have to click them, but so basically we'll just quickly walk through this. And financial reports, you know, she mentioned that the financial reports are on the website. Now it's right here. Those are only available to members. Fundraisers, you know, then board agendas, membership meeting agendas and minutes. Membership graphs, so you can see how the membership has changed over time and how COVID kind of knocked our membership down quite a bit. Past trips. So, for example, if you go to that, you can look at the trip we made last month to Salt Lake City, and they have photos from the trip and so forth, so it's kind of fun. Past events, same kind of thing. Policies and procedures, you know, these we get down here you won't use very often, but here that's where they are. Volunteer awards, so we have the last few years of volunteers that got a volunteer award, the 50-year-old book awards, and then the last one is website reports. It kind of shows you the number of people that come to the website and how they got there and so forth. Okay, so now let's go on to the education, education first. And membership meetings and videos. So another thing is if you miss any of our meetings, we are recording all the business meetings now, and we're recording the speaker for that month. And so if we scroll down, many of these, you know, each month, some of them will have a link to give you the handout, and the handout is often are available forever, because this is member-only page, so the speakers are allowing us to give a link to the handout. So if we scroll down to, let's go to the February meeting. It was there. There it is. So the February meeting, so we just pick one. Let's say you didn't go to the genetic genealogy meeting. So you can hit the play button there, and off to the right will be expand it to a full screen. so it fills your computer screen. And then you can grab the pointer down there and go to a particular point, and then then hit play again, and well, there we go. Anyway, and these have sound also, but it's not hooked up to sound from the way it's configured right now. So anyway, you can go through the presentation, and you can skip to different parts and so forth by sliding the pointer, and you essentially can see the whole presentation again. Or, if you've never seen it before, the first time. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show is a nice resource at the top. So resources, genealogy websites, it gets you to the 5 paid-for sites that you can normally only access in the library. You can access them from home now, at least through July. And, okay. And now we'll go to periodicals. And the reason I want to point this out is this is an unbelievable capability. Thousands of hours of volunteer time went into scanning every periodical we have from all the genealogy sites that we trade papers with. Anyway, those are all loaded as PDFs, and they're searchable by individual word. Every word is searchable. So this is not just the titles. Like if you go to the Allen County Library, you can see the articles that were in periodical. No, this is every word. So let's just try one out here to show you how it works. So you put in my name and hit submit. I wouldn't do that because who cares about my name? But anyway, so even a name that's not so common, there's 10 pages of results. And so if you just go to the second one, because I happen to know that Nebraska, it tells you the state that was from. So it actually downloads the actual periodical. You can now search the periodical in your browser. So if she types in Weichel here, it just goes right to where it's referred to. So you can do a lot of research from home on everything that's in periodicals that we have that we used to have in our library. Anyway, a powerful tool.
How many did that in?
Resources, periodicals. By the way, with these menus, and one of the things I discovered when we met is most of these menu items are clickable. Some people think that if you have one that branches out, like do resources again. So ones that have sub-items under them, no, don't click on resources. Yeah, so just hover over library. Yeah, so library itself is clickable, but so is the sub-item. So don't be afraid to just click things, because you might find things that you didn't even know were there. Okay, so that's all I have for now, and maybe next month we might look at some other features that are useful.
And then one thing to mention is the periodicals. The default is all. It's going to search all states or all the periodicals.
Right.
So you can narrow it down to a state that you're interested in.
So if you just click Nebraska, for example.
Take that one.
Weichels in Alaska? How about McLean's in Alaska?
Canada would work.
No. This was a really awesome feature, and Ed Crabb worked tirelessly with the digitizing ladies. When they first got started, it was Liz Crabb and myself, and I've said that story before. Using a camera on a tripod and having to manually with your finger turn each page, that only lasted about 6 months, and then we got smart. But because of the CEC guys and the equipment that they were able to procure and get set up, we brought on Sandy Enke, we brought on Krista Minogue. We had other ladies there helping too to get prepped, but it always defaulted back to Sandy Enke and Krista Minogue. And to get these periodicals scanned, and you can see on that list, it's not just the states, it's also foreign countries. So it's very searchable. And we've been hearing rumors over the years that maybe people didn't understand how to do it. A lot of you probably did. So we're trying to do a few of these things at every general meeting. I think the next one is going to be the surname list, because there's 1,600 surnames that the membership has listed that they're researching, and you might find people in this membership that are researching the same surnames that you are. So we'll show you how to do that. I really appreciate you guys, and appreciate Jim coming up here and doing that to give everybody a tutorial. We only have one report today, and then we're going to take a break. By the way, it's Peggy, our fundraising chair here. I'll tell you the by the way later. Peggy. It's you. Your turn.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. Surprise, surprise, we have raffles today. and we have 3 at the back table, and one is a basket with some dishes and a very nice setting for 4. And then there are 2 shawls. Those are for the ladies, unless there's a man who would like to wear a shawl. It's up to you. I don't judge. And but anyway, I do want to thank all of you who came and made the tea party such a success. I know that I enjoyed myself, and I'm pretty sure everybody that attended did also. And I want to read something real quickly. One of the ladies who won one of the quilts that we raffled last month, her name is Charlene Wilderman, and she says, I won the patriotic quilt, and I'm particularly thrilled because I never win, and I'm a quilter. My Colorado quilt group meets once a week, and they make charity quilts. And Quilts of Valor is a program that most quilters belong to nationwide. And what they do is the groups make red, white, and blue quilts and donate them to the various organizations that give their quilts then to veterans. And she says that she is going to donate the quilt that she won at this group and provide a quilt for returning soldiers and other veterans. So I thought that was real nice to know that not only did she get to enjoy it for a few minutes, but she's going to have somebody else enjoy it. So next month in April, no, it is April. This month, we're having a pop-up sale, and that will be the 17th and 18th, no, 16th and 17th. The 16th is the setup, the 17th is the sale. It's a Monday. There'll be other activities at the library that day, and we'll be selling jewelry, purses, totes, wallets, shawls maybe. Anyway, things, and just so you, as a reminder that the raffles are done to help pay for this facility each month. And so anything that you donate, either goods-wise or money-wise, is very much appreciated. And then in May, will be having, and I can't remember the date offhand, but it's the third Monday, and we'll be having a luncheon, a catered luncheon. I don't have the menu yet, but so far it's going to be pulled pork sandwich and things to go with it. But if you would like to attend and you are a vegetarian, I can do things like a salad, but I'm not going to go as far as the gluten-free and the non-dairy and et cetera, et cetera. It's just way too much. But I certainly would like you to come, and the theme is going to be Ancestor Roadshow. And what we're going to ask you to do is to bring something that belonged to one of your relatives that has a story or something of interest to share with the rest of the attenders. And then so there won't be a pop-up sale in May, but there will be the luncheon. Okay? Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Always check the website because there's a lot of things happening. We won't have any formal meetings after May, but obviously some people might still want to have a meeting. I mean, the SIGs definitely, classes. We don't have the classes sign-up table today. We have some people out ill, but I know novice genealogy is still available. So check your website or stop by the library if you want to if you want to be a participant in that class. I also wanted to say that before we take the break, I want to remind all the volunteers you have to accumulate, get together, and come up here so Charlie can take a group photo. So the volunteers that are manning these tables, the tables are going to be empty for you guys that are walking around. You just have to give us a few minutes to get our photograph. I'm excited because, and I know when Jim said this and he showed you how you can go on to our website now and you can see the presentations, they're recorded, you can get handouts. I mean, this is awesome. We're taking baby steps, we're getting there with the technology little by little. I think Jim mentioned that we did have a SIG and a board meeting done with Google Meet or Zoom or whatever. I call them all, I just say to dial in. I made the mistake of saying, I'll dial in if you tell me the number, and they said, Doreen said, uh-oh, she's dialing in, what do? We don't have the phone. I mean, that's what I'm referring to when I say I'll dial in on a meeting. It's all this technology stuff and the lingo that goes with it. So, we are going to take a short break and we're going to give the rest of the afternoon to Robert Wilbanks. If you're a volunteer, I need for you to come up here and we'll turn on the lights. And then I want to make sure that you all get this little special volunteer pin. I mean, you got to get it because I ordered it. And then we'll be back in about 15 minutes with our speaker.
Okay, I need the volunteers over here behind Pat. Stand behind Pat. Everyone there, stand behind. Right there, where Gloria is. Yes, stand behind. All the volunteers come up here. Up there, over there, over there, over there. I'll be taking pictures here. Okay?
if there's any volunteer that didn't get their pin, you can see me up at this table. There, it's on. Everybody find your chair. Pam LaFond, our Director of Member Outreach, will introduce our guest speaker. Yeah.
Well, first off, I hope everybody had a good holiday. I know there were 3 major holidays last week, so pretty much everybody in the room here should have celebrated